Hi everyone. I felt really guided to talk to you today about understanding the difference between ego and our shadow. Uh, a lot of talk goes into talking about ego as a negative thing that we experience, the part of ourselves that doubts, that fears, that feels better than others, that acts all arrogant, that feels all victimy and oh poor me and worries and really fills the mind with confusion. And the shadow I see as ego and shadow are basically the same thing, but a way of describing ego that I would like to replace, then instead of go along with that kind of thinking of chaos, is that there are many levels and there are many layers of spiritual gifts awaiting us. And if we haven't learnt to integrate that particular aspect of our personality, it will haunt us, it will haunt our thoughts, it will create pain in our body, it will create disease in our body, and it will say, look at me, in whatever way it can, until we integrate it. It will create chaos, it will create monkey mind chatter, it will create anxiety, it will create depression, it will lead us to taking addictions, it will lead us to attracting relationships that are absolutely chaotic because it feeds off it. And why? Because it's simply a part of ourselves saying, I want to be understood and I want to be spiritualized. And when we learned how to do that, we do teach that in the Lightworker Practitioner training, when we learn how to spiritualize unintegrated aspects of our personality, we get the essence of spirituality on every level of consciousness that we need to feel to reclaim ourselves back to wholeness. So the ego is not a dirty word. Like the Skyhook song says, it's absolutely not. It's actually a gift. The thing that we haven't learnt to do yet is to dive in and have a conversation with that aspect of ourselves and ask them, what do you need? What are you trying to teach me? What is your purpose? What is your gift? How can you help me in my life? When we actually understand that, we bring our higher self to the table. We bring our higher self to the conversation. We no longer see the ego or that shadow aspect as us. When we see the shadow aspect as all of us, we over-identify. I hear a lot of people say, oh, but that's just who I am. Rubbish. We all are one and we're all united with Source, and there are many layers of consciousness in that. So our job to become whole and to return to wholeness is to navigate our way back to that integration one step at a time. And the next part of our personality that needs to be integrated will always show itself. It's not about perfection, and we will meet people that trigger it off, and that's perfect. They are rippling at that vibrational level. How we respond to them, if we're in reaction, is all about, if we're in reaction, it's all about we haven't integrated that aspect yet. If we're in calm and peace and surrender, that's a good sign. We've integrated it. We're not reacting anymore. So we can make our decisions accordingly in line with our higher self and our guidance, and not about them and who they are. So it's very exciting, and it brings us to a sense of a very rich life, very rich, because you have an abundance. You could say it's all blah, 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 but you have an abundance of an opportunity here waiting to be unopened like a big present, and you just need to find your way there. And I invite my students to actually have a meditation time where they bring all their resources in, all their spiritual resources, angels, helpers, white light, whatever you need to hold the space of compassion. Because if you have high judgments, then you need the same amount of compassion to be able to hold the space and integrate that is what will contribute to world peace. That is what will contribute to stopping society from acting out the unintegrated shadow aspects that we have inside. So we've got a lot to focus on, but also we've got a lot of gifts to explore and celebrate and embrace. So I welcome you to do that. If you want to know any more information, don't hesitate to contact Lightworker Reflections. We love all of you and we embrace all of you, every single one of you. Blessings.